Hi there, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to another MAD. Sorry, I haven't had one in a while. I'm trying to do these at least every other day, but things have come up. But I'm here and you're here. Hi, Dot. What's up? How are you doing? Karma Cafe, welcome. We also have Nolabu, Shiara, Florida Mapolita. What's up? Janine. Lindsay. Hey there, Natsuki. And Blue Eyes, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Hopefully you're good. If you want to join the panel, then come on up. Yeah, it's open to anybody and everybody. So if you want to join, just hit me up with a message on Twitter or Instagram. All right. We got. All right, I'm gonna give the link to somebody here that wants to come and join. All right, here we go. It's sent. Who else is trying to join? It's a Friday today, and Foodie Beauty said there was supposed to be a surprise. She said that that surprise now is postponed because of the COVID. COVID has ruined certain things. And she said this in her community tab on her Salah and Chantal channel. It says, "Hey guys, I am editing our newest vlog now. It will be out in a few hours. Thanks for your patience. I know I said that we would have a special surprise today, but that will be delayed a bit. A lot had changed since COVID, and something we wanted to do isn't open now, but we are seeking alternatives." So I wonder what that was. Okay, I see you, YTR. I'm gonna add you right now. So if you want to turn off your camera or anything, go ahead. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna put you on. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I've been seeing you've been doing like Pete's stuff. You've been adapting because I know she's not streaming as much. Hey, Lynn.
Yeah, she isn't streaming as much.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people
Mm,
are hurting right now for that, but you kind of have to adapt on YouTube sometimes.
mhm.
So what's the topic? I see the title, but I'll just follow your lead. Whatever you want to talk about.
Well, there's several topics. There's the Pete's, like what is he gonna do in terms of like paying the rent? Because Chantal is seeing that he's getting a lot more money than the 300 he's used to getting.
Mm-hmm.
So she's definitely gonna want him to pay either at least half or all the rent,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe make a point that she's not living there, so maybe she should pay it all. Then we have Pete's turning BBJ upside down and then saying that he used to do that to the cat back in 2005, like
Mm-hmm.
flipping her over on the
Yeah, I
bed.
saw the video.
Then there's the entire moving situation with her, Thailand, the taxes still.
Okay.
There's so much to start. So wherever you want to start, we can start.
Oh, okay. Well, I do think, with the new apartment and stuff, or I mean with the old apartment with
Yeah.
Pete's, um, I do think she is gonna want him to step up, but I also think there is gonna be part of her that wants a fail safe. So we'll see like we'll see how confident she's feeling in her, situation with her new man. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I do think she did seem a little jealous with the Trinity being the unholy Trinity being over there. And did you see that community post that she put up with like there was the car with the eyelashes and
Yeah.
a seat in it. So I think she has been paying attention to like who's in Pete's chat and kind of like trying to win some people back. Um, but what do you think about
Oh, so that's what that meant. Holy crap, I just picked that up.
yeah.
Ashley Lambo, Sofa King, and King
Yeah.
Cheeseburger. Okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
totally that went over my head. I'm sorry. I didn't get that until now.
No, I it took me a little bit because when I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, I don't know, it just came to me. So that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I had people that were like, what is this? So I wanted to like look at it. But
Yeah.
yeah. And she's been doing little notes in her community posts saying she misses people. So, but yeah, I do think you're right on the fact that she's going to want Pete's to step it up. And yeah, I did want to ask you, what do you think of the cat thing? Because it's like, I just don't think it's a good thing to do. And she's an older cat as well. So it's definitely not good to be. I wouldn't really do that to a younger cat either. But taking into account her age, I just don't like. He was laughing. He thought it was so funny, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's like he's in his own world, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
but that's just Pete's.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little bit. You see me. I've been open in your chat about. I'm a little more harsh about Pete's. I know
Mm-hmm.
some people. Well, they're proud of him for doing more, which is like, of course, doing more is better than just laying in bed, right? But
Yeah,
I've also been like, okay, but we need to like see what happens, because if he reverts back, which I suspect he's going to do, then what happens? Is everyone still going to support him or no? I'm just curious.
yeah. That is really something because a lot of people are not liking what he did to BBJ, on what he has now double, triple, quadruple down, saying he used to do this way back in 2005,
Yeah.
which is
And
just like, why would you even say that? Do that to a cat? So
no,
you've been
and
doing this
yeah.
for like 17 years.
Yeah, and remember the claw that he would do on her head. That's when I started really getting mad about, like, because he talks to BBJ and he's always calling her names and whatever, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
people are like, well, cat, they can't understand the words, but the thing is, animals can understand energy and the tone of your voice, and if you're talking in a tone that's derogatory, they are going to pick up on that. And then he
Yeah,
would always do the claw on her head, and you could see she's trying to get away and he kept doing it. And it's like, yeah, so maybe this is something people need to keep in mind with Pete's. Like, I don't expect everyone to, always agree or whatever, but it's like there's all these red flags with how he treats the cats. He's, I think people want to root for someone in the foodieverse for some reason, but we have to keep in mind the flaws of everyone involved, I think.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you really do. So I do wish the best for Peace, but a lot of his stuff and his ideas and other things kind of is off-putting.
Yeah. The bears thing, when you showed those bears, it was like, oh my God. Of course, he didn't think that's a big deal, but it's like there are things in the media when it comes to kids. And yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, sometimes just his take on things is wild. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So hey, Jack, what's up? Hey, everybody coming
and
in.
hi,
Chantal,
everyone saying
everybody.
hi to me. That's so nice. So, thank
Yeah.
you for warm welcome and everything. That's so nice. Um, but yeah, you wanted to talk about, what else did you want to talk about? Like the moving and the taxes and
Well, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he should move." I'm thinking Pete shouldn't move at all. Pete should stay where he is and get a roommate because if you
but
really look at places for rent, like one bedrooms in Ottawa area and everywhere else, it's expensive.
yeah, you could get a roommate. A lot of people get roommates now.
Exactly. Because the economy is bad. The Bank of Canada is up in interest rates. There's a lot of things going on right now, which makes it people have to start trying to save as much money as possible. Like people are not getting as much work as they used to. There's a lot of
Mhm.
factors and a lot of events happening.
And the housing, I've heard it's bad up there. It's not well, and it's not good in the US either. It's harder to get apartments, it's harder to get housing, and buy, like, it's just the market in general is really bad. So if he already has a place, they've already accepted his credit, they've already, they've
Yeah,
accepted. I think I agree with you. I think it would be smarter for him to stay there and get a roommate. Or he could ask them to downsize his place. I know I brought that up in your chat before. It depends. Some places let you do that, some don't. And you brought up a good point that sometimes it's such a small amount of money difference that sometimes it's not worth it. But he could definitely look into it as an option
yeah,
if he wanted.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. He could look into it. And as QZ and other people have been saying, the problem is he can't live with most people or he just doesn't want to. It's that issue
Mm,
where
yeah.
he trusts Chantal way too much or way much more than he should trust her.
Yeah. He does. He always has. I mean, if you think about the fact that she bankrupted him in the past, and he's still he doesn't even seem concerned right now. Like he said, she's gonna have to come back because she's on a tourist visa. We'll see what happens with that. She said she's coming back in January.
Hmm.
Um, Now I have seen people do the process of like getting other visas, but it really depends. A lot of times they do make you go home, and even if you're trying to apply for something more permanent.
Yeah,
So we'll see what happens with that. But he seems that he just thinks, oh, she'll be back, so it's fine. And he doesn't seem to be, even though he's having more success with his channel, he doesn't seem to be in a mode that he should be in. Like, okay, I need to start saving. I need to like there's another step to independence, right? And he's not really taking the next one.
he isn't. It's like he's just gotten back into the swing of things, right?
Yeah.
Making the 2K because before he was okay with the 300. I got
Mhm.
Karma Cafe at the back. Karma Cafe, I'm gonna add you right now. Hey, Karma Cafe, what's up?
Hey, hey
Uh,
everybody.
how you
Hi.
doing?
Super nervous.
It's all good. We can talk. You can
Yeah.
join in whenever you feel. But as I
Okay.
was saying, Pete is gonna get a 2K for December, and his mouth was practically salivating at the prospects of how he's gonna spend the money. Right?
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to say too, I don't know about minimum wage in Canada and stuff, but I do want to say like even just regular like a regular I would say more not a job like a career or a job you get with an education, but like an entry level just regular just a crappy job. Usually you don't make that much. So really he's going to end up making as much as a regular job. He's not going to go for a job if YouTube is
Exactly.
going to subsidize him.
Yeah.
So
He says it's his side hustle when he doesn't even have a main hustle.
you're right. He does
It's
say that.
like get a main hustle first, Pete. Before you
Oh
tell
my god.
people YouTube's your side hustle. But yeah, like he's getting pretty good amount in Ontario where I live and where he lives. Minimum wage is 15.50 per hour.
Okay. And then you have to factor in as well, because in the States it differs, but then you need to factor in, well, there's sometimes they'll raise the minimum wage, but then they won't give you as many hours. So that's another thing as well. So if he is going to make enough, yeah, he might think, what's the point in getting a job?
Well, he doesn't seem like he wants a job because all he's been doing is complaining. People tell him, "Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" He keeps giving excuses to the point where he started to yell last night at people because
Oh,
he
really?
had enough. Yeah, he was screaming
I
again.
didn't see last night, so yeah.
Yeah, that's because
Sasha,
he keeps
go
doing
ahead.
these 3 hour streams.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I've been catching up with him through your streams and then through Piggy. So
yeah.
like it's helped that you've been covering him because it's like I missed that though, but wow. Okay.
Yeah, were you gonna say something, Karma Cafe?
Yeah, Sasha, I don't think he'll be homeless. He's doesn't seem to be worried about it, and he said the other night that his uncle would put him up if he needed a place to go. So I don't really think that he is worried about being homeless. I think he has other options, and he's just riding this out.
Exactly. That's why he's not worried because you don't see a sense of urgency in his voice. It's like,
Right.
oh yeah, we're gonna move sometime because he knows his uncle will put him up. It's
Yeah.
like he reminds me of like a typical family. I'm not even gonna, you know what? I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. He reminds me of the typical Canadian families that don't live the city life. They live kind of like the country life or small town life. And what they do is, if they have a job, it's good. But if they don't, they'll just do whatever. And it's
Go
no
from
yeah,
family to family
yes,
member.
exactly. They'll go from family to family. If they have a credit card, if they have a job, they'll pay it. If they don't have a job, it's like whatever. Fuck that credit card. We're just gonna like let it go and whatever. It's like that very nonchalant type of towny attitude with them. Because how he was explaining the stuff about his brother, I'm like, Jesus, this sounds so familiar with like small town life, where you call in sick a little bit too often at work and then they fire you, and then Peach will be like, "Oh, I don't know why my brother got fired. He just kept on calling sick at work. That's the reason why he got fired, Pete."
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, what? Like,
But it's
of
normal to
course.
him. I mean,
Yeah,
his mom probably did it growing up.
exactly. See, yeah, I'm thinking the
Yeah.
same thing. It's so normalized, that type of behavior.
Hmm. Yeah, there are places like that in the US too. And there are people that are like that in the US, or they think I'll just get on assistance. And not to say, obviously, there are people that totally need it. And I'm not trying to shame any of that, but there are people where they almost view it like, oh, I'll just do that. And when, with Pete's, he has held down a job for 10 years. People bring up, he has this, he has that, he could have this or that. But the fact of the matter is, he is capable to hold down a job for 10 years. That is a long time. So he is high functioning enough that he can learn to cook, he can clean. He said when he's breaking down the boxes, I should have been doing this the whole time. That shows cognitive intelligence. Like, the fact that he's able to say that means he has that in his mind. He's like, so the thing is, he kind of plays down his capabilities because he wants a free ride with Chantal. Now that that's changed where she's away, he's had to do the things that he wasn't doing. But it's like Pete's really could hold down a job. He could do YouTube. He could take care of a small little apartment for himself. There's things he could do, but I don't think he wants to do it.
Yeah, very true. That's so true. There's so many things that Pete could do. And if he really wants
Mhm.
to help himself, then he should maybe get some extra time with a therapist rather than the once a month, because it
Right.
seems to not
Yeah,
be helping.
I agree. Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, there are different levels of function, like people being functional. But if you see someone's capable, why is the message to enable and coddle? Why isn't the message you can do it? Because there are a lot of people out there. Now, he hasn't properly been diagnosed, but there are a lot of people out there who are autistic. And I don't think the message should be like, you can't. If people can, now that's going to depend on your situation and what you can do. But it's like, I think it's more positive to be like, look, he's able to do this stuff. He can do it. But with Chantal and him, their dynamic is so dysfunctional. I think most people can see that. And I don't think he's very close to his mom or his brother, but that's just kind of my assumption. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're not close because there's certain things that he would know if he was close to his brother and his mother. But it seems like they just talk to each other here and there, and it's not like an everyday thing, or like or the thing where you check in with each other, you know exactly what's going on in each other's lives. It's not like that. It's very disconnected family he has, which is
And
kind of sad.
I've seen people with severe cerebral palsy and um, look at Stephen Hawking. I mean, Pete has a couple of social anxieties. I mean, even if he is on the spectrum, he's high functioning, super high functioning.
Yeah,
He can walk to the store. That has nothing to do with autism at all.
yeah. I still think they should have went forward with the testing, because Chantal, at the time they were talking about it and looking at the paperwork, she had the money. She was making like 20K a month. $2,000 or $3,000 to her wasn't nothing. But then again, around that time she had the Nader issue, right? So that's
Mhm.
where the money went, which is kind of sad that Pete's once again is swept underneath the rug when he could have had doors open for him once the testing was done.
Yeah,
And
I
all,
agree with you on that. I think why
yeah,
not? No, for sure. And I think they do give like some advisement after the testing of resources or just better ways to, they probably have like connections with therapists and things like that too. So it's like I do agree. Um, I just could it be possible he really doesn't want to know? Because what if he okay, this is a little bit, but bear with me. What if he doesn't want to know? What if he is worried that if he does pause, what if he gets negative? What if he's so certain he has it? And if he gets negative, what does that mean? All that
Right.
responsibility he's been avoiding, it's looking at him in the face at that point, and he doesn't have a crutch.
hmm.
And
Well,
that's
yeah,
just
that's
a
true.
theory. I don't know. I
He
mean,
would
I'm
just
just
use the
saying.
anxiety.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Or he could get the testing done and doors get open for him because there are programs out there in Ontario where he could definitely get stuff, and he's close enough to Quebec that he could maybe move to Gatineau. Gatineau, pound for pound, is still cheaper than Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just go across the bridge. You're in Quebec. They offer a wide range of services that you won't find in Ontario.
So I wonder this. I said to you earlier, Monty, that his anger is kind of shocking. It's happened so quickly, and so like he'll scream so loud, and so he's so like basically smoke coming out the ears.
Yeah.
Does he do that with her, with Foodie?
With the explosive anger is
Yeah.
what I guess you would call it. No, we haven't seen anything like that. He's more calm around her.
So he can control it.
Yeah, he's just very short and explosive with people in his chat, because I just think he can control his chat, because in person I don't think he would do that in person, or it would be hard for him to for somebody to get him that way in person.
Well, I think he also, like you're saying about the chat, he doesn't have like when you have a chat and you have to run a channel, even if it's a small channel, you should have mods, and just they should know, okay, if this happens, this is how you take care of this or that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have like a kind of protocol with any mods or anything to fix any of the issues. So I think he just screams.
Yeah, he just
works out.
Doesn't want mods
Because if
whatsoever.
he had a couple that could just, he wouldn't even see half of the, for the most part, people are decent in his chat.
Yeah, they're not even too mean. There are trolls that come through, but
right.
Yeah.
So if he had a couple of mods, he probably wouldn't even see the things that come through.
Well, and also because he acts the way that he does when they come out, like if trolls get reactions like that, right? They're gonna keep doing it because they got a reaction, and that's gonna be entertaining to them, right? So because he's screaming and stuff, you'll see it, like once somebody trolls, more people are going to start trolling because they're getting him worked up and they're seeing it, and he needs to realize that. And everyone with a channel learns at some point. I don't know when he will or if he will, but most people do learn, like if you do react, if you're very reactionary, it will cause more. So it's like, yeah, I think he should get some mods. I think he should just like keep in mind that like people do rev him up on purpose. Like, I mean, the whole per capita thing I had with him, I know everyone was like, oh, it's a troll. But actually, initially, I was trying to just tell him some facts. He didn't like it. So yeah, once that happened, then I did kind of be like in caps and did that. But initially, I was just telling him like, no, this is, we were talking about statistics and numbers, and I was just telling him some facts. He flipped out. He also called me a man, which I'm like,
I remember
my avatar
that.
looked like a man. I had a
didn't know
different
it was
one at
you.
the time, but yeah, that was me. And the other funny thing is, okay, I don't get why you thought I was a man. What? Because a female can't talk about anything logical, or what? Because my avatar didn't even look like a guy, but whatever, it's fine. But I was just like, okay, dude, you need to relax because it's not that big of a deal. But then, of course, it became a funny meme, which I thought was hilarious. But I did want to say, like, I don't really go into chats to like rev people up like that. That just happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are people that do. There are people that do. They go into chats for that reason. And especially when they see how he reacts, they're going to keep it up.
Like Arab, Thursday Lane, Sev.
Yeah.
Thursday just does that to everybody. And if you pay him the slightest bit of attention, he will continue.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sasha says, I think he thinks I'm a girl, if that's any consolation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Sasha and Valerie are guy names. Well, in certain countries.
You would think, as woke as he is when it comes to sexuality and pronouns, that he, of all people, wouldn't assume that type of thing.
Oh, right, exactly.
It's so not really woke.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my attempt at sarcasm there.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's great.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're right on that. And really, I don't really care. I mean, I've been called whatever at this point, it doesn't matter, but I just found it ironic. I just found it funny. Because again, like, and for you, Sasha, you said you have your male avatar, exactly. And I get some people use different avatars, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? Because but I was like, okay, fine, you can think I'm a guy, whatever, I don't care. I'm still gonna
You're
talk to
still
you about
wrong.
that you're wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think is Foodie's plan? Because this is very interesting that you got a place over there, because people have been thinking that he's going to want to go there to Canada, right?
Hmm.
I've been up in the air about that, but I entertain multiple theories because that's how I am.
I,
But a
I
lot, a lot of people thought that. Now she got a place over there. What do you think
I
is going
think
to
the
happen?
plan originally is that he wanted to go over there as soon as possible, but then the taxes and the non-discharge bankruptcy are going
Okay.
to hold them back for, at least 2 years, probably 1 to 2 years. Even if they get everything done right now, it's going to hold them back that long. Plus, there's a backlog in applications and whatnot, processing of applications. So, what's the next best thing? If he can't get over there right away, and
Hmm.
she messed up by going into Nader's chat, the next best thing is to give him a place, a nicer
Yeah,
place.
an upgrade, right?
Yeah, an upgrade, and then she can pay for it.
This is what I think she's going to do. I think she's going to go back. She's going to get her cats
Mm-hmm.
because Salah is not going to allow her to stay there for more than a day or two. Not going to happen. She's going to get her cats and she's going to move in with Auntie Rasta, and she's going to leave the cats there and she's going to just keep applying for visas and going over for 3 months until they get everything paid off. She'll throw Auntie Rasta a little money for the rent and the cats and leave her the car. And when she goes back over there every 3 months until everything is paid, and then he can come back. That's what I think she'll do. And her and Pete's both will go on their way
Yeah,
out
that
of the
sounds
villa.
pretty. That sounds pretty logical, to be honest with you. Because yeah, Ani Rasta has her own place for the first time in her life, and then she has
Interesting.
been around quite a bit because we never see her that often in the chat now. Practically every stream, she's like in
Yes.
there.
Yeah, it's
And I've
so
never
weird,
seen her
right?
before
You're
in the
right.
chat.
She's talking to like she's getting all chummy with everybody. It's really wild. It's really crazy to me.
Yeah, that seems actually pretty logical,
It
Karma
could
Cafe.
happen. It could
Yeah,
happen.
very happen. So poor Pete's is gonna get screwed.
But then again, I'm on the fence still because she might want to just keep that contingency plan on her back burner the way she did during the Nader thing. I mean, I don't know, but she might even help him. She might expect him to step it up, but she might even help him with the rent, just like whatever he's short, just to keep at least for a couple months, just to keep the villa in her back pocket. She seems so reluctant to let it go. That's the only reason why I think maybe she might want to hold that still in place, but I'm not sure. I mean, another reason why I think she doesn't want to let the villa go is because we know that she can't get a place. I mean, you brought up the aunt, so that's a good factor to, or a good thing to bring up, that a possibility. But also, like, I think she's very scared because she can't get a place on her own. So yeah, that does make her worried to let go of the place she has, right? I don't know. She might want to have the two homes. She's very much about that. I don't know.
The two home life.
Mm-hmm.
But which two homes would it be? Would it
The
be
one
one
in
in
Kuwait and
Kuwait
the one in Villa.
or the villa? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, a fallback plan in case
I
shit
could see
goes.
it for the beginning anyway. Who knows
Yeah,
later?
but then she's gonna have to be making the money she was making before October when she was streaming all day.
Yeah. Well, if she goes back, she will stream again all day, I believe. If she leaves Kuwait, she will.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have to.
think. Yeah, she knows that she will have to because the
Mhm.
money is tight.
That's why it's like, guys, we just gotta ride this out. Everyone is getting so worried about, like, she'll be back to doing what she does. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like she did prove last night that the viewership is still there. People will view her.
Mm-hmm.
I
even
have a,
though the participants are low. Go ahead, Karma.
I have a question. Do you think when she comes back, especially if she's not getting any romance that she craves, you know what I'm talking about, over there, do you think when she comes back, she will call anybody? Nader or Tony? Or, I mean, do you think being married and knowing that if he were to find out, I don't think he would take her back if it's real?
Yeah, who knows what will happen? I'm up in the air whether or not
That's a
she'll
good
be
question.
yeah, she'll be open to doing stuff outside of her quote unquote marriage.
She'll
That's a
definitely
yeah.
hide it, I think. I think
Yeah,
she'll
for
hide
sure.
it for sure. I mean, we saw with the Mr. Coffee storyline that she really didn't think much about marriage in a lot of ways. But then again, if it has to do with her, she's a selfish person, self-centered. So she may care more about her situation of, pleasing him and everything. But I don't know. I mean, I could see it either way. She hasn't been faithful in previous relationships. She'll probably try and call. I think she's going to try and call Nader on the sly. I do. I don't know
I,
about any new men, but
I definitely think she will reach out to him, especially knowing that he has this new friend. She's going to want all that info. She acts like she doesn't care, but she thinks about it nonstop. I promise.
oh yeah, I mean, she was in his chat and she couldn't help herself. It was the middle of the night. It was like, girl, what is wrong with you? And then the thing she was saying in that chat, you stole my man. Like after all this time, and then you're in a new relationship, supposedly, and you're just like, she's still saying, like the way people say words is really telling. I don't expect her to be happy about what all happened, but her being like, Didi, you stole my man, like using that, like she is still so hurt about it. And it just shows she's not over it. She's not over him. She's not over any of it. So, and that was while she was in Kuwait. Like, God,
Hmm.
that's wild. It's like, girl, you're with your new dude. You're like, that obviously tells us something's she pretends like she's happy. If you're happy, you're in a new relationship, you're not going to be all up in your ex's chat like that. I don't care what the situation is. Yeah,
Yeah,
in her
exactly.
husband's house, Q. Yes, in her husband's house.
Yeah, the insult to
Hmm.
injury doing that in his house or his parents' house, wherever they were before.
I
So I
was waiting. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine.
I was waiting for her to say, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't. And I think if Dee Dee had not shown proof that this is her, she would have stuck with that. No, that wasn't me. No, I didn't
Oh,
do
for
that.
sure.
I wasn't there. And the fact that she was telling her like your man still wants me. I think she really does think that. I think
Yeah.
she believes that and she feels like going down there and getting married or pretending to get married. I think she married him, but I think it still could be that marriage of convenience
Yeah, I
clause
don't
thing
think
they
it's so
have.
legit. Yeah, I
Right.
don't think it's
But I
like
think she
down and
thinks
law.
it's bothering Nader. I think she thinks he's bothered by it. Really.
I think so too. I also
And
think she thinks that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Monty.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, it's just quick. I think she also think she wants to believe, oh, Nader's miserable with Didi. And the thing is with Didi though, even when Didi, well, allegedly, because I don't have proof, but I believe that Didi doesn't work or lost her job. Um, and he stayed with her beyond. I mean, sure, she's giving him the free place to live, but that does show that he enjoys her enough to stick around, even when she doesn't have the money she used to. But Chantal wants to believe that she's better than Dee Dee in Nader's eyes, and I don't. She believes that he still wants her.
Hmm. Well, Dee did confirm, yeah, she lost her job because of the
Okay.
situation from the April Fools this year.
Oh yes, that was a
Yeah.
mess.
which I
Mhm.
still think, like, Jesus, who would stay with somebody who made them lose their job, their 27-year-old plus
Yeah.
job? And then I don't think Nader was even remorseful. I'm like, over a silly bullshit prank, you let somebody lose. What was a very good paying job? And I'm not sure if she got anything from it. When she got let go, maybe she has a lawyer, maybe they're fighting, but the money is gonna run out sooner or later, right? And then she probably might have to sell the place. She might get a little bit of money, but you're gonna need a job sooner or later. And where are you gonna get the money from? Maybe sell your place, maybe get a new place, but you're gonna have to get another job. Hey, R.
Yeah.
Brownstein. So is Nader gonna stick around? Well, maybe if he can still hold on to staying with Didi and having his channel maybe supplement their income, because his channel's views are good to, like, for food and whatnot, and to pay the utilities,
Hmm.
because
If they can keep her place that she owns, then I think
yeah.
maybe I think if that falls apart, he might want to look elsewhere. Who knows? Like, I don't know. I don't think he's genuine. There's always got to be enough in it for him. So,
Yeah, there has to,
yeah,
for him to
Monty,
stick around. Yeah,
yeah.
go
how
ahead.
do you know what he earned? What since he's come back from his 2 month stint gone? What what are his average? What is his average?
Um, I'd have to look, but I would say he's not making as much as he used to because the views aren't there anymore. Because
Mhm.
before he would get like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7K views a video. But now that he's come back, it's like half of that. So he's not
Okay.
making like the amount of monies he used to make. When the drama was still popping off and they used to go back and forth, but it's still enough to for paycheck.
Okay, because that's what I wondered. Like, who's paying for what if she's not working? I'm sure she got a severance pack of some sort and probably had a 401k because I assume it was a decent job to
Yeah,
be there
yeah,
that
it
long.
was.
You know.
It was a
Right.
decent job. And what else was I gonna say? Angelica, who's this Angelica person?
Yeah. I was curious what your thoughts are on that. How do you think they met her? Like, is she part of this swinger lifestyle? What's the deal?
Well, one thing I want to know is, like, does she understand what she did by going on camera? That, like, she would be on the farm
Right.
in like no time,
Um,
right?
I don't think she understand. I don't think they warn people.
Yeah, which is actually kind of rude and dirty move to do. In to be honest with you, because I would be warning someone, like, listen, if you want to come on cam, this might happen.
Heck, we warn each other on our channels. I mean, seriously. I mean, you always say too, like, oh, if you want to shut your camera off or whatever, like
Yeah,
and that's not even in person. So yeah, I agree. I think it's very like it's very rude, and it just shows the level again of just this narcissism that they have. They don't care about what happens to people in their real life. This is why I tell people be careful, because there's a lot of people that insert themselves, and it's like if you see the way these people treat people in real life, like don't expect better treatment when you're an avatar on the internet. They don't even like if they'll treat someone in real life this way, they don't care what happens to them. They're not going to care what happens to anybody. Not that it's okay, but yeah, she's now on the farms, and who knows what's going to happen now through that.
yeah, exactly. There's just so much BS going on and happening.
Oh, I did want to. They said, "What do you think happened to Bar Lounge?" I wanted to know your take on that, Monty. What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't checked. Do they still have a channel?
Last time I checked, the channel was still up, just inactive.
Yeah, I just checked. I don't know what happened. They just don't have any more info.
I think they got scared as well. I think they just don't want to deal with it.
Well, we've seen channels come and go. Like, you've been around longer than I have. You've seen tons of
No,
channels
I've
come
been
and go.
around for a long time, but I've been a very small channel, so I think people just found me more through you, like, so just through panel and things. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have seen a lot of channels come and go. I believe when I first came around, there was still Robin the Explorer out here. There was like on program. There was Sarcastic Potato. Like, yeah, it was a whole other.
Holy
There's a
crap.
whole there's a
Not
lot.
even channels that I don't even know about.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Right? Because see, like you were like OG. Because for
Yeah.
me, I've been around like I really started like early 2021. And
Yeah.
I've seen channels come and go. Like there's
It
been a
happens
lot.
so fast. But
It does.
also, like, I was never good at, marketing myself or networking or so I stayed at like, I don't know, 300 like for a while. Well, in that bracket, like the under 500
Yeah.
for quite some time. But I didn't care at that point. I didn't really, I just did my little thing. But yeah, I think there's so many channels coming and going, and sometimes it's about outlasting. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing, even if you have a rough patch with your channel, it happens. Like any channel's going to have a time where maybe their numbers are down or maybe something. But a lot of times, if you can just outlast people and you keep it pushing and you keep going, like a lot of times they'll be fine, in the long run.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's very interesting. Well, the Sam's Bar Lounge thing was different as well, because I think, well, this is just my, I think it was maybe more than one person, not, the editing style was the same. So, but I do think maybe it was a couple people
Mm-hmm.
that were working on it at least. But I don't know, like they were saying they had something on Chantal. They kept saying, but we know in this community sometimes it's like, were they just exaggerating or did they just not want to put it out there because they got intimidated? Because I do believe when Nader started like flagging channels and things, people got really spooked. And that might have been something that made them not want to continue. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
Monty,
so. Anything's possible. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
Yeah.
gonna hop down in the crowd down there. I appreciate you
Oh,
guys letting me up here. I'm gonna
oh,
hop
nice
down
seeing
there and
you.
chat.
All right, nice talking
Thanks.
to you, Karma Cafe. Appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.
good
Yeah,
point as
so
well, too.
uh I have no idea about the SBL thing and what's going on with that. The other thing, 2 days ago, Wednesday, did they say somebody was saying something about Natter's case? There weren't like charges or something, anything criminal?
I heard that they extended the case,
Yeah, to the
and
18th.
yeah, but I don't know all the details about that. I think he's gonna get dropped, but I don't know. I mean, that's unfortunate, but I don't know. What do you think? Because it seems like they're just not gonna do anything.
I have no idea, but someone was saying something about how there wasn't anything of criminal nature in the case or
Okay.
something. I gotta look into it more. It's
Yeah.
just somebody.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know details. Well, maybe that's a little homework we can all look
Yeah, well,
into
it's
because
hard
I'm
to
curious.
keep up with everybody because it's just a lot of people are just streaming, and then when people stream for hours and you got to go through that information, it's very, even just 1 hour a day when somebody's streaming is hard enough, but to
Yeah.
keep up with multiple people, and then some people are streaming for like 3 4 5 hours a day, it's just a lot of information you got to go over.
Oh, for sure. I think he wants to keep extending it so that people, like, this is a tactic that they do in court sometimes where they just keep extending it and it kind of exhausts everybody and their resources and money. And so they just kind of throw it out. And if there's not enough solid, if they don't feel like the evidence is solid enough, they will just, I don't know, they'll just throw it out. But
Right. Diane again says there is no pending investigation, so all evidence is in. Okay.
oh, okay, great. Well, I mean, that's good to know that. I didn't know.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's so wild though, because I mean, even if something doesn't go through, we've seen how he is, right? So it's just unfortunate that it's like he might get away with it, might get away with everything. So, but it's one of those things where it's like if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Like when it comes to Didi and everything, she's just gonna live that way. And unfortunately, she's a grown adult, and um, do you think the police did go there? Because back then, the police did supposedly interview Didi and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are speculating, did they really go there or did that really happen?
Well, I think
Like,
they could have, because the thing that people don't get is when it comes to adults, like even if they're in like a situation like that, if they are not willing to go, they cannot like force her out of her own place and like, They can't force her to leave him unless she wants to, or to kick him out.
Yeah.
I know there's like squatters' rights, but when it comes to mistreatment, he could have gotten kicked out, and she's not doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy though to me, because like Didi owns her condo. Like, I can't imagine owning something, and maybe it's just my life where it's hard for me to understand, because I would love to own a home, and I would never let my safety jeopardize. Like, if you own a home, that's like partly ensuring your safety in a way of like, this is yours, nobody can take it away from you as long as you keep it going, right? And it's like, but somebody is in her home that is like dangerous. I don't know, it's sad, but then again, no, I'm sure she's afraid, Janine. I mean, everyone in situations like that are definitely afraid. So, and I know some people don't feel bad for her and all that. Like, she did insert herself and she did see a lot, but on a human
Mm-hmm.
level, I'm always going to feel bad for anyone in situations, you know. But anyway, I don't want it to be too dark.
No, well, you're just being real. I mean, yeah, she
Yeah.
owns her home. She was doing well. She's doing well before Nader, and look
It's
where she's
crazy to
at.
me. It's crazy in my mind,
Yeah,
you
it might
know?
not be that bad, but
Yeah.
when you think about it, Chantal, was she doing better before or after Nader?
I mean, I would say she's doing better before. I mean, she's usually not in the best spot, but
Yeah,
I
but
would
yeah, I
say
would say the
better,
same
yeah.
thing. That she
Yeah.
was doing better, and I would say the same about Didi. Didi was better before her interactions with Nader. There's just some people, once they come around you, it's never up; it's always a down.
Yeah, but also, like, here's the thing. Men like him, they go after a specific type for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, when it comes to a guy like that, you don't like, you got to act quick, right? They've let him in their life for such a long time. It's like he's just taken over her life. But the thing with him is he did not, they try and rewrite history, but even from the first couple times she was with him, she came back. Chantal, I'm talking about now, but she came back and told us all these bad things. He
Yeah.
didn't love bomb her the way these kind of people usually do, and that's the craziest thing about it. It's like,
Right.
but for me, I don't even have the patience for that kind of person in my life. Like, I just don't have it, and I'm kind of a more dominant personality. So someone like that would just clash. Like, there wouldn't even be a relationship happening. You know, like, it just wouldn't even form, because, but it can happen to anyone really in that way. So it's like, it's not like people haven't tried to like screw my life up, but I just get rid of them. Like, if somebody is, um, Chantal kept saying, "Oh, I know my boundaries now. I know my boundaries." But look at what Salah has already done in such a short time. I mean, he locked in a place this soon. She doesn't realize that he is, now I don't know your take on it, but I do think he is taking advantage, and I do think that he is succeeding very quickly as far as getting a lot out of her in such an early time. Like,
Yes.
they've barely known each other, and she keeps saying, "Oh, you guys think that fat people can't find love?" It's like, well, I don't know. I won't speak for whoever, but I've never said that. Like, but love doesn't look like this. You know, it doesn't look
Mm-hmm.
like setting things up for monetary gain and financial gain and all this stuff. So it's actually concerning when you see how much he's gotten out of her. I think he's a lot smarter than even, like, people were calling him Nader 2.0, but he's way smarter than Nader. Nader wanted his life paid for. This dude is like getting a lot more quicker, and it really makes me wonder what I wonder what his motives are. I wonder more what the long-term game is. I mean, we all speculate things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think
And
he cares about her or no?
well, I guess he cares that she'll be alive so that he can his game plan still works.
Well, just the way he looks at her, Monty, you know as well as I do.
Yeah, you could tell.
even, and people said, well, they can't show affection where it's not about people jumping on each other.
Yeah, you can tell by
It's
the look and whatnot.
exactly. Oh, oh, yo, mama, you're just mad at me because I critiqued your interview with Breezy. Come on now.
Yo, mama, I'm gonna have to
Hey.
react to your call in. I'm gonna have to call in and tell them what's up. I'm gonna tell them that my boy YM was all super salty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, I'm very neutral on him, but I critiqued him hardcore on some things. But I think
Oh,
he's a little salty on that.
you
But the funny
salty?
thing is, I don't talk about my personal relationships. So, of course, people are going to assume I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I was about to say we're on the cusp of Didi going to Nader's trap house. Remember, it was in December. It happened.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's been like a year, right? Almost that Didi, because remember, Didi started coming in December.
Yes. And that's when everything changed. As soon as Didi came there, it was just nothing was going to go back for Chantal. And it's so interesting too, because Chantal spent that Christmas, we all saw it, and she dragged her VIBs through emotional turmoil through the whole holiday season. I
Yeah,
couldn't laugh, but it's like, I'm sorry, it's just so shocking.
I can't believe it's been a year. Like C-pop Rescue was like the 26th, 27th, or something like that, 28th of
Yeah.
December. I remember that exact because I'm like, Jesus Christ, it was from morning till night all day.
Also, I do want to say, yo, mama, if you ever want to have a real conversation, I'm down to do that. I criticized everyone in that situation as well. So I don't know if you took my thing as siding with people, but no, I feel like I was being pretty objective. There's just one thing you did, and you know what, that I got really mad about. But besides that, I would be open to talking. Although my channel is not as big as everyone you talk to. I only have a little over 1,000, so I don't know if I'm a good enough, you know. So, but anyways, no, I don't have any drama with people like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so pretty much almost a year since we've
Yeah,
had Didi in Natter's life and Natter in Didi's life. I can't believe it's been so long. Time
it's a
flies,
long
right?
time. And
Yeah,
she went from being just a chatter, just someone in the chat. Like, it's so wild. It's
yeah.
so crazy. But I think, Didi was lurking for a long time. And I really, it really goes to show you what obsession will do, because Didi, she has a fast, like, she kind of has a fascination with Chantal too. It's just different, obviously, than Nader's.
Hmm.
I don't know how one goes from being in a chat to wanting to insert into the real life of somebody. Like, I don't know. It's so wild to
But
me.
it happens all the time. Wasn't there like Mrs. ATX and who was it? Like, was it truthfully Trisha with that?
Yeah, yes. Truthfully, Trisha, she was married, and she would express their relationship issues sometimes. And there was someone in her chat, and I forgot, I think the handle there, but yeah, there was that woman in the chat,
Yeah,
and
Mrs. ATX,
that was
wasn't it?
her. Yeah, yeah. Now that you say it, but I'd forgotten. But yeah, and so she was in her chat, and then she ended up stealing Truthfully Trisha's man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and it does happen. But every time I'm just like, who are these people? Like, I don't know. It's so interesting. I guess people, they feel so close to somebody, and then they want to know them, but that can be
Yeah,
really dangerous.
yeah, pretty much.
That's
Well,
funny you know about Truthfully Trisha. I didn't know you knew about her.
I actually didn't. I was just hearing
Oh,
that DC was talking about it and that happened before when this whole DD and Foodie Beauty
yeah,
and another thing popped off.
she's
Uh
interesting.
yeah, DC Media was like, yeah, this has happened before with like Truthful Nutrition and Mrs. ATX. I'm like, I didn't know that. So that's
Yeah,
where I picked it up from.
Truthfully Trisha has a channel. She's pretty wild. But she was on Dr. Phil because of like the stuff with her channel. So if you'll find her if you seek that
Yeah,
out.
I actually get I get YouTube pushes Truthful Nutrition to my feed even though I'm not
Oh,
subscribed.
really?
It's because I've searched for her before. So
Yeah.
now the algorithm's like, oh, you search for Truthfully Trisha, so let's just keep pushing Truthfully Trisha stuff. Because I see her when she goes live. She doesn't get that much people watching her live streams.
No, no, she's
Yeah.
not. She used to get a little more, but yeah, it's kind of dulled down. In fact, I've been thinking about YouTube in general, and it's like a lot of people are gone now, even like YouTube juggernauts. Like there, and I don't care for them, so don't trust this. But there were people like the Paul brothers, Tana, like people that were just like,
Mm-hmm.
Shane, and there are all these people that were like, and it's like YouTube. I wouldn't even say who are the cool kids now on YouTube. Like, like,
It's I Show Speed.
oh,
I
okay.
Show
Yeah.
Speed, Critical, Pat God.
Yeah. It's interesting though how it changes, right? And
Yeah.
obviously with Girl World, it's changed too. But anyway.
Is very interesting. But yeah, like in girl world, people come and go. Like I've said in my short tenure, I've seen people come and go all the time. There's people coming out, and there's constantly new people coming in.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. There's ebb and flow of audiences and people, and but yeah, I think you've been diversifying. You've always had your different channels. It's all about outlasting. That's all it is. You know,
Hmm.
like my channel's small, but it's not going anywhere. I've been doing this for a long time. I used to cover drama in general, but I found Amber, and then I found the girls and all this, and then I zeroed in on that. But there's always something in the girl verse too. I think Chantal will revert. I don't think this. I don't know. Do you think this salad era is gonna, or sorry, Salah? Sorry, it just came out. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not trying to be. It just slipped of the tongue. But do you think this is going to carry on? Like, do you think he's in it for the long haul here? Or
Yeah, I think he seems to be a long haul type of guy.
yeah,
So we've been through a few eras. We've been not necessarily through the Pete's. Well, I guess the Pete's era, Pete's 2.0 era, because when
yeah,
they were together the first time, she wasn't on YouTube, but then she started in 2017. So we've been with her since BB, right? Then
yes,
after BB, she was living with Pete's. Then Pete's, she started to date, and then we were the Nader era. I
yes.
guess Nader is
You
still
know
ongoing
what's
now. We're
fun
in
though?
Salah, yeah.
You know what's fun with the dating era? Remember the whole Nick thing? That
Yes.
I say fun sarcastically, guys, but the Nick thing. And that's why I do believe Nick was a person that she had met, because with the obsession and the stalking that happened with him
Hmm.
versus some of the other guys she brought up. And the funny thing about the Nick thing is she still wanted to keep seeing him even after she went on a couple, after she saw Nader for the first couple times, she was still wanted to get with Nick. So isn't that crazy? But Nick was
Yeah.
smart. He ran far. Frank ran far. Nick he ran as far as they can.
Right.
Oh, I was gonna ask you one thing and I forgot. Oh well.
Well, think about it while I say something. So yeah, pretty much the taxes thing. Somebody had wrote on my last stream on this channel on MAD something about taxes. Maybe I should read it while we're here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
It was Maggie S. Maggie S says, Monty, I'm a retired CPA licensed in New York, living in Greece now. An attorney and an accountant can only work in other countries for American law and accounting firms. Everything Chantal does work related outside Canada needs to be reviewed by Canadian and Kuwait tax law professionals. Example, before I retired, I was already living in Greece. I traveled to New York 5 times a year to see clients, and that income had to be reported in Greece. USA and Greece requires filing income worldwide in both countries. Although Kuwait does not have income tax, she still may need to still report. I suggest tax advice from both countries. Okay, yeah, that's pretty fair. I do know that, yeah, no matter where you live in the world, America still wants you to report what you make. There's other countries that don't want that or don't require that, but USA, for sure, is one of them,
Yes.
and that is why a lot of people they go on the list of shame, where there's usually I think 200 or so people that give up their U.S. citizenship voluntarily every year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's the list of people that give up their U.S. citizenship voluntarily, and it's usually because of course, money, right?
Yeah, yeah. And YouTube is an American company as well, which that makes sense as well that it needs to be
Yeah.
reported to
Mm-hmm.
America as well. So with as far as how hers works. But yeah, the in the US, once you lose your citizenship, that is good luck getting that back. It's a lot, it's very difficult.
It is.
I don't know. Like I don't even I
Okay,
that
I'm
thing
looking
is
at the
crazy.
stats. It seems in 2012 to 2013, 2,999 Americans renounced their citizenship. So it's usually, a couple thousand people a year will
Okay.
renounce their citizenship or
Yeah.
long-term residency because they don't want to deal with the tax problem, especially when you're making a lot of money.
Oh
What
yeah, for
when you make
sure.
a lot of money, and the US citizenship might start to become a problem.
Yeah, they'll penalize you for the more money you make,
Yeah,
which,
exactly.
people feel differently about that, but it can be hard for people, right? Also, like the property taxes and all of that can be a lot as well. So, but
Hmm.
there's a few states where, I mean, the state I'm in, I don't pay state. Well, there's regular taxes, but it's like, it's a little different. Like when I do my taxes, I just have to do the federal, I don't have to do the state.
Okay, that's nice.
But I'm from a state where, yeah, we definitely had the state taxes. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I just migrated somewhere better that was more affordable. But that gets difficult too, because if a place gets popular, more people will go and then the prices
Hmm.
raise. And I know Canada can have that issue as well, where, if somewhere gets really expensive and then you get an influx of people moving to just the same kind of area, it gets, there's a whole boom and everything can happen. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
oh yeah, I mean, the US is definitely, there's like any country, there's good and bad. Like there's things I really like, and then there's things, it really depends. Um, Definitely would love the healthcare to be better, but there are some things that are, but yeah, but I'm not surprised that some people let go of the citizenship, because if they live somewhere else, they don't want to pay the taxes, and then they're ready. If they're getting something where they are, if they feel like they don't want to leave where they are, I get that they just don't. Why pay for something you're not using and you don't want to go back, right? So,
Yeah, they're weighing that it's more convenient for them to not worry about paying the taxes because that also comes with jail time if you screw up.
yes. Oh, yeah.
So
And they
they're
don't
rather,
play.
yeah, they don't. They'll come after you
Oh, well, what
big
food
time.
I think that's why, that's why some of the American commentators are so like, that's why I'm so far. I'll just speak for myself, but like, because I'm like, she would be in jail if she's in the US. There's no way, especially with how much she owes.
Yeah, I think she would be if
She
she
would
was
for
in this.
sure.
Yeah, if she was in the States, she'd most
I mean,
likely
well,
had issues already.
they will do payment plans and stuff, but you got to be like in communication. They will take you away. First, they will
Hmm.
come and they will seize all your stuff, and and I know Canadians have talked about that before, so I know y'all do it too. But like in America, it's fast. It's not. She wouldn't have had all this time that she has. No, it would have been done already.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. So yeah, as long as she's aware of a lot of things, I think she's been learning from reaction channels what is possible and not possible, to be honest. Because it's like I think she thought, hey, I'm gonna bring Salah over immediately, and that's not how it works. And then people
yeah.
are like, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. But all she has to do is maybe do a little bit of Googling,
She
maybe do a
doesn't
consultation.
know.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Monty, we teach her everything she knows. Okay. She didn't even know that you can't bring weed to an airport. And she learned that from my stream, because I did a stream, and I know she learned it because I was the only one that, usually there are more people streaming at the same time, but I was the only one. And then the stream exactly after, she's like, oh yeah. And I knew verbatim she said it the way I did. So I'm like, girl, and that's why when she says she doesn't watch reactions, she's lying, because the fact that she knows tiny channels like mine, she knew all your side channels, she knows what everybody's doing. And
Yeah.
But yeah, we teach her stuff all the time. When she went to Cuba, she had to learn about her money situation. She didn't even talk to her own bank. Everyone started telling her. And as it turns out, her bank does work with the US. So in Cuba, that was a problem. So it was actually because they didn't want anything to do with our banks. So even though she's Canadian, and this is something people were trying to figure out, but it's a little weird. But because because they're partners with the U.S., that's why her card was no good there.
Yeah.
But she didn't talk. She could have worked it out with them. She could have talked it, but she didn't. It's just interesting to me because she seems very surprised how hot it is in Kuwait. I mean, they told her it's hot, but like she seems very surprised. So I don't know. I can't imagine traveling and not looking up this stuff. I would be a basket case. I wouldn't be able to travel anywhere if I didn't research first.
Right, exactly. So you know what? She needs to do her research. Karma Cafe is like, speaking of fast, can we just not get another extension? We did talk about it. We said that he's gonna try and push it out as much as possible.
Yeah, I think he's trying to wear them out, and I think he's trying to, if he can, keep extending it. Sometimes people lose the money to keep going. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's his strategy, but
Karma Cafe asks Monty, how long can he delay this? Maybe another couple of months until the crown wants to go forward with maybe a pre-trial or wants to negotiate or somehow. But right now it's just in the preliminary stages.
Oh, I see, Mons. Well, it might have to do with, well, you obviously communicated with your bank and you set it up. That's just the thing though. She didn't talk to her bank. She didn't do anything with her bank. And obviously we all know grown adults, if you're traveling, you got to tell your bank you're going somewhere and set it up before you go. Oh, thank you. Who was that? MJ. That's very nice.
I'm not sure how to answer this. Does Canada have a limit in extensions? There is a limit that of how long you can keep extending it, because you do have a right to a fair trial, and a fair trial means that your trial should be within the bounds and limits of a certain period of time. It can't be stretched out for years. So that's on both sides. So they're pretty cool with him right now, because he's the one who keeps on. It's either him or his lawyer that keeps saying, "Oh, we need more time. We need more time." That's fine, because if it was the crown or prosecutor, it wouldn't be okay, because then he wouldn't have the right amount of time to prepare if it was the crown saying, "Okay, we're going to trial right now," because then he could easily be like, "Judge, I was only given this amount of time. That is not enough time for me to actually defend myself to the best of my capabilities, or my counsel to defend myself to the best of my capabilities." So that's why they'll give him as much time as possible, but then there is still a limit to the amount of times he can keep doing this.
Oh, okay.
And remember, it's a indictment, and not a. It was a 271A, right? That he's on, because there's a 271B, and then there's a 271A. His offense is not a summary; it's a indictment. So that means there's a standard of time where, like I say, a range where his matters has to be resolved within. So I'm sure the Crown is really keeping an eye on that.
Okay. And this is the May Anderson case, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly. I haven't heard anything else from supposedly allegedly. Remember the other case that was supposed to be happening, and there
Yeah,
were talks about that. I haven't heard anything from that since.
I haven't either.
Yeah, before October.
Oh, and that's why this whole thing is so messy with court. Whenever court is just like, you never know. I mean, there's cases, yeah, there if things are solid and people are very determined, but it's like with this, it's like court takes a long time as well. Like things just go on, and I think that's what this community is starting to find out. Is like it takes such a long time for cases to go through. It's crazy. I do hope that she continues to like I do hope that may continues.
Yeah, yeah. As I keep saying, hopefully justice can be served.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're putting your other channels. Yeah, Monty's got, if you go on his homepage, he's got, you just go to, if you go to the homepage and you see all those tabs, so there'll be home, videos, live. Anyway, if you go down the list, there'll be a tab that says channels. And if somebody has multiple channels, you have yours on there, right?
Yeah.
On channels, and all his side channels and main channel are on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know how you do it. Just one channel is keeping up with one channel for me is enough. But it's good though. It's good to have
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things.
for sure.
Have you been enjoying the cooking and stuff? Have you been doing
Yeah, I've been
that
trying
still?
to do cooking, but I've been getting busy. That and plus, too, I cook, but I'm gonna try my best maybe next year to really
Yeah.
get into it again. Like I'll do it here and there, the cooking. But yeah, cooking is good. I
It's
like it.
intimidating though, because people will watch and be like, you could do this better, this better. Like I probably would, I would never.
Yeah, people are
People
gonna
like
be like that, where everyone has their 2 cents of what to do and what
yeah.
to spice and how to do it. But sometimes most people can be very reasonable. But like, listen, I'm just gonna do it this way,
Hmm. Yeah.
and as long as it comes out good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care as long. The only thing I'm like, obviously, if they're watching like Fruity and Nader and all that, I'm like, wash your hands, wipe things down. Besides that, I don't care how someone's like, cutting something or seasoning. Like they're just
Hmm.
cooking, doing what they're doing. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure, exactly. So, we shall see what she comes up with. She's supposed to be on. I think. She says she should. Wait a second. It's like nearly 4 o'clock for me. Holy crap! So that's gonna be like 2 a.m. She should have a
oh
video up
no,
any time now.
I don't like this time difference like at all. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, you
Well,
get used to it. But it seems I don't know what is up with her sleep schedule, but it seems something's going on.
well, she's never good at having a sleep schedule. I guess some things don't change. She can be across the world and still be doing what she does. So.
Yeah, exactly. She's literally, just doing whatever.
So do you think she'll be back in January? Do you think she'll make it? She said she's going to be in past Christmas. You think she'll be able to do it?
Yeah. Well, people are surprised she even made it there in the first place.
Yeah.
Then
She's
they were
determined.
surprised, yeah, that she made it there a whole week, then a whole 2 weeks, then a whole month.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, she's either going to tap out early or she's going to be really determined to stay. So it looks like it's turning out like she's going for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very weird to me that like like I said before, with the way he looks at her, he does not look at her like he has any feelings for her.
You can tell.
You can see it.
Yeah, and
I
especially when he says honey, it's filled with sarcasm.
yeah. And sometimes it's like he talks kind of like robotic, and this isn't about his accent because I don't care about that. But just the cadence of how he's saying it. Sometimes, when he's like doing the little intros and things,
Yeah.
just the way he's talking, it's like, I don't know. And she doesn't pick up on those things. Like she doesn't pick up on any social cues, or if she does, she doesn't care. But
Mhm.
I mean, there's no chemistry. I can't imagine being in a like relationship, because here's the thing, he's grifting her, but you can tell the cracks are showing, but I do think she really wants to make this work. Like I do think she wants to be with him. Even despite not having chemistry, not having like actual like emotion from this guy. It's crazy what she just doesn't want to be alone. So she'll put up with so much less than what uh, anyone deserves really in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he seems like he's hanging out with her, but nothing more than a friend. Yeah. Well, during their glamping vlog, um, she was talking about, I want to sleep under the stars. You could tell she was trying to be like
Mhm.
romantic. And he said, look over here at this volleyball net. Like it was like he was trying to change the subject. Like he was like, look over here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cringy.
It
Like, oh
is.
my gosh. I mean, I'm finding entertainment out of it. I know people are calling it the flop era, but the thing is, with Chantal, I don't know. I've been here for so long, I guess, that I'm always just going to be like, I'll just ride it out, whatever.
Yeah, you've seen some ish on the internet because yeah, you've been around.
I've seen a lot of communities as well, too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I've seen a lot. I haven't been part of a lot because I usually like to go on the outskirts. But yeah. And I think too with her, I mean, there are going to be people that just lose interest just over time, anyways, and we are seeing that. Like some people are just done. They're
Hmm.
just done with her.
Yeah.
Um, but she has gotten some new people with those tags.
She has. Yeah, new people are gonna come in all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, how YouTube is. And yeah, whatever happened to S Jam? People
He
keep asking
deleted
that
his
every day.
channel again. He can't handle it. Talk about someone that squandered an opportunity. A lot of these side channels do. It's like you get a channel overnight. See, this is the thing though. It doesn't prepare them for having a channel. Like my channel's small, but I've had to learn, even if big or small, you got to learn a lot of lessons. And when you start a channel and you have one for a while, you're learning all those things. You're making mistakes. I mean, that's just bound to happen, but then you pick yourself up, you keep going. And there's just things that you learn because unlike a lot of other jobs, there isn't a training course. Well, there's little YouTube videos. They don't teach you about how to socially navigate this. But at the same time, these people, they blow up overnight because they associated with her like once or twice.
Hmm.
And then they don't have, or they associated with Didi or Nader, or whoever they associated with, right? They blow up overnight. It doesn't prepare them for like the longevity. They
Yeah.
get, and it's like they get the drama comes out, they have everyone gets their turn. DC says it, and I've been thinking it too. Everyone gets their turn. And it's all about, can you keep going after? Can you turn it around? And the thing is with these people, as much as some of them were laughing at some of us, they couldn't take it. And Ask Jim, he just deleted his channel again. He did it multiple times where, well, I don't think he deletes it. He hides it. But
Yeah, thinking
he,
he's hiding
yeah,
it.
yeah. And we'll see. I think he might come back because here's the thing. He had a channel for years ago.
Yeah, he
So
did. He's OG.
yes. And the thing about YouTube, people always come back. They might take a little hiatus, but the thing is he was doing really, and I'm not a fan of him, but I was indifferent kind of, whatever. But he was doing really well. And that's the crazy thing. These people that blow up, they have no idea how well they're even doing because they have unrealistic expectations. SGM brought in hundreds of people in his chat, which
He
as
did.
well as I do. That's hard to do. That's hard
Yeah.
to do. He was getting it. And then he was ungrateful and he, his addiction and all that. And that's too bad, obviously. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully he's trying to take care of his habits, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely see what happens.
But hey, when people go away, what does that mean for those who stay, those who have the endurance? Doesn't hurt us any, so what do I care? I don't wish any bad on anyone, but if they leave, it's like, well, we're still here, so we just keep it pushing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much talked about everything: the taxes, the move-in,
mhm.
Foodie and Salah, Peetz and BBJ, what Peetz needs to do versus what he doesn't need to do. I did bring up that his mom is best to stay where she is at because the application process could be very intense,
Oh,
and I
his
don't.
mom?
Yeah, well, his mom is in the 55 and older section
Oh,
of the
mm,
facility she's in. I think it's best she stays there. Don't take her out because Pete's ain't
yeah.
about full, going 100% with whatever application he goes with or whatever he's doing. I think
Yeah,
her
I
two boys
agree.
would fail her if they take her out.
I agree. But you know what? Now that you bring that up, and I'll make this quick, but isn't it strange though? Because wasn't it her other son lives with her, which I thought nobody can live with someone in those homes, and that's why Pete said he couldn't.
You're not supposed to be there on a semi-long-term basis,
Okay.
maybe a day or two, but to
Oh,
actually
okay.
live there, it's not
Yeah, they have
allowed.
rules, right?
Yeah, but that's what he was still doing. He was actually living there.
Yeah, her other son was living there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not a little tattletale. I don't really, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna I'm never somebody that's gonna call or do anything like that. People
Right.
always, think karma happens or people find out or things change, but yeah, I would agree with you because those applications are hard and it's hard to get approved for those places and
It
have
is.
and they have people that come in and check on people too.
Yeah.
So that's good for her, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the worst that they can ever do to their mom is take her out of that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the application can be intense. You need doctors, notes, letters,
Oh
evidence.
yeah, you got to prove they need to be in there, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a
Hmm.
lot of work, and sometimes they might not even just have an opening either. Especially now
Exactly.
with the housing, that affects the elderly housing as well.
Yeah, so they might not even have a bed. So, and then you're on a timeline. Pete's is gonna fail her if it ever is his responsibility to bring her back in there. It's gonna be a shit show. So
Let's
it's
hope
best
his
that
laziness keeps him away from the whole ordeal in general. But
yeah, yeah, exactly. Did you like S Jam's Gut Boy stuff?
oh no, I wouldn't watch that.
Really? You didn't watch his Gut Boy stuff? Like
I
when he's
heard
putting
enough
out that
about it.
belly?
I heard
Really?
enough about it. No, that's not my style here.
I
No, but I
mean,
heard about it. I was laughing. I mean, it's funny, but I was his OF was Gut Boy. I was like, okay, whatever you want to do, but
hey, it was making him money.
yeah, I mean, he might need it now. Heck, because his
Maybe.
place and everything. Did you
Yeah.
hear about that stuff with Ronnie? Oh my god.
I mean, like touching Ronnie's pee pee.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. I was like,
Yeah, I don't see why that's a problem. What if
no,
what
I
if
mean,
S Jam wants to touch Ronnie's pee
I
pee?
don't
What's the
care if he
problem?
does, but I don't care if he's gonna swing that way, right? But Ronnie didn't seem too happy about it. So I'm like, they had a falling out. They had a
Really?
falling out.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. When did he touch Ronnie's pee pee?
When
Was
he
it
was
before Ronnie left?
sleeping.
Yeah,
It
but
was yeah, before Ronnie left. And
like right
Ronnie,
before? Is that why Ronnie left?
yes.
I didn't know this. Wait a second. So was it like a
Yeah.
fondling or was it just like a touch?
I don't know. It sounded like a fondling from what. Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you imagine you're sleeping in like the living room and somebody starts caressing your pee pee, you look over
Well,
and
I
it's
don't
gut
have a
boy S
peepee, but
Jam.
I can imagine. No, I think I scare people enough that they wouldn't mess with me. No.
Yeah, no pee pee touching.
No.
No pee pee touching
I
in the
like my
champagne room.
personal space. Like I'm very much like unless I'm like really about it, but I make that known.
Yeah,
But I can't imagine SJM. He just goes in there. And Ronnie was in a relationship too. That's the other thing where it's like, okay, this
right.
is, Ronnie has a woman and
Which is S Jam's cousin.
yes, I was gonna say, did you know is SJM's cousin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
we
there
thought Ronnie was S Jam's cousin. He's not. He's married to S Jam's cousin.
yes. I had to figure that out because when I first found out this story, I'm like, are they all cousins? There's a bit of cousin, you know what? And then I was like, what is going on up there? But then I found out, oh wait, it's the woman is the cousin. So
Hmm.
yeah. Oh my gosh, there's too much, y'all. There's people
Hey,
out
if I
there.
ever hang
Yeah.
out with S Jam, I'm gonna have to tell him, S Jam, there's no pee pee touching in the champagne room. No pee pee touching in the
Yeah.
champagne room.
Didn't
You
you
get
say
it?
someone did that to you in your on a bus? Oh my god.
Yeah, somebody did do that to me on the bus.
I would
They did
flip out.
fondle my pee pee, and I
What did
woke
you
up.
do?
I was like, bro, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh my bad, man. I thought that was my chocolate bar. Then I'm like, it is a chocolate bar, but not your chocolate bar.
Oh my god.
Then it's like, oh, my bad, man. Here's my bag. And then he went into his bag because I had to watch him, and he took out a chocolate bar. So I was like, okay, he actually was looking.
Well, I guess that's good for his case that he actually had one in his bag.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like touch
Oh
the
my, you're
touch the
crazy
yummy,
riding on a bus at night. Guys are nuts, man. The things men do. I'm like,
right?
y'all are nuts. Like, that's just something I would never do, you know? Because hell, if that can happen to a dude, buses are
Right?
very dangerous. But
Listen,
God, we
every
never moved outside.
I got normalized to being on the like the red eye New York bus because I would take it at nighttime so I
Yeah.
could get sleep and wake up in New York in the morning because I had stuff to do, right?
I
In
could
like
never sleep on a bus. You're wild. You're
so
wild.
you got used to the craziness because I
Yeah.
could tell you tons of stories. The beach threat story, the woman with the bird that kept on yapping and she kept on screaming, the chocolate bar incident. There's just so much shit that happens on any of these buses that go into New York City that it just becomes normal. If you ever lived in New York City or any big city, you know what I'm talking about. Where like the craziness of other people don't put you off
This
anymore
is
because
why I
you're
don't
so
live in
used to it.
I can't live in a city. New York City will give me like such anxiety. I would be crippled. Like I'm very much of someone where it's like if I'm in my element, I'm very confident and stuff. But then like if I'm in the city, like
Yeah.
it, because I mean I grew up in the country and stuff, and then I moved around. So I've lived in like different areas, but a big city that's gonna mess with me. Like New York City, I would be done. I couldn't do it. I think the people would drive me crazy. I think all the chaos would drive me.
Right.
I don't know, but people adapt. But I don't know. It would be wild. Well, you'll have to tell stories. Maybe you should do a throwaway streamer or something talking about birds.
Right? Yeah, there's like there were so much stories like I expected. I'm like, holy shit, I'm on the bus again. What kind of craziness is gonna happen? Because there was always just people just like from like mostly normal, but there would be like strange, weird people always on the
Oh yeah,
bus.
yeah. I
So
can see
then I
that.
would do this thing where I'd arrive early and then I would point at people if they look normal enough and tell them to sit beside me. So I wouldn't get the crazy that would just randomly sit beside me because I had enough of that shit. I had a game plan. I had a bus game
That's
plan.
smart. No, I like that.
Yeah,
That's
I would wait.
smart.
I would go there early, and then I would observe everybody. And if they looked and acted normal, I'd ask them if they want to sit beside me.
No, I like that. That's very smart. That's
Yeah,
some, what, I did do that once. I rode a bus one time, but it wasn't like in the inner city. It's like a bus from one, anyways. But I went to the bus pickup and I did that actually because there was this one person there. Everyone else seemed crazy as hell. And there was one person there that seemed normal. I said, "You're sitting next to me." He said, "Okay."
right. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Sometimes you gotta do that because
but
it's
I've
like
only experienced that once.
I've had enough of like crazy ass people, and I don't really want to use that word, but there were crazy ass
Well, yeah,
people
I
sitting
mean,
beside me.
look, sometimes there's no other really word to express it, right?
Yeah,
Lindsay's right. You never make eye contact with crazy. Yeah.
yeah. So true.
You got to just look beyond, like kind of like either you don't look at their eyes. You just look at just wherever you are. You want to keep your peripheral open so you know what's aware of all your surroundings, but you
Mhm.
don't want to zero in on anything.
Yeah, exactly. You just learn that, yeah.
Have you ever been on a farm, Monty? Have you ever seen a cow have a baby or
I've never been in like a very intense farm setting. I have been on
no.
farms, but remember, I also grew up in the country in, tropical Jamaica where I had
Right,
my own
yeah.
donkey and I
Oh,
had
you
my
had
own
a
cow and
donkey?
goat. Yeah, I had a donkey when I
Oh,
was
okay.
a small child. I would ride.
I was gonna ask you because I was gonna ask you when you left Jamaica, like how old you were.
Oh, I was like 12, 13. So,
Okay, yeah. But you had a donkey and a cow.
yeah,
Oh, and a
and a
goat.
goat.
We had
Yeah.
goats. Goats are assholes. I
Oh
mean, they're
man,
great, but
my goat would headbutt me.
they're mean.
Yeah, like the little
Yeah.
baby goat would headbutt me, and I
Mhm.
remember falling. Good thing he didn't get me in the nuts. If he was just small enough, he would have gotten me square in the nuts. But he
Yeah.
was a little bit taller, so he got me in the stomach, and I fell back.
Yeah, goats are like, yeah, they can be really sweet, but they're yeah, they can be
Yeah,
they can be little assholes sometimes.
right.
Oh,
But
they're
yeah,
asking me the name of your donkey now.
it was called Donkey.
Did you was cow and
Yes,
oh my
Donkey was
god.
called Donkey.
You didn't even name that. Shame on you.
Well, maybe I could French it, but like Donkey.
Yeah.
It was called Donkey.
Oh my oh my gosh. This is what you get for having me on.
Right.
Derailment. See, I'm good at that. Derailment. No, but I love animals. And I grew up on we had a farm, but we didn't have like a big dairy farm. You know, like we had goats, we had like animals like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just curious because I know I've heard you talk about the city and things like that, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I'm accustomed to the city life, like the raw city life, like in the middle of the city.
yeah.
I've been in the country, in the suburbs. So I've
Yeah.
had it all.
Yeah, I've lived around now, but I prefer not to be in city. You know, I like to be a little bit more away.
Yeah.
Es-
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with just I don't know. It's like especially with how I mean, if you live further from people and then something like what's going on with the vid and stuff, it's like there's not as many people, so it can be safer sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yep. I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you. We had Karma Cafe on. Thank you so much. We have
Yeah,
YTR. Thank you so much. I
thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on. This has been fun.
yeah, you're welcome, anytime.
No, thank you. That's so
Anytime at
nice.
all. Yeah. It's been an
Also, good
experience.
job on the pod, by the way. Good job on that. That was good.
On the
On the pod, on DC's pod.
Okay, yes, yeah. Thank you
No,
so
good
much.
job
I
on that.
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much right
I
here. So thank
totally
you
got
for
that.
being
Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
Well, you know what's going on, right? Like you said,
Yeah,
you've been
I do.
here for long enough that
Hmm.
it happens to like everybody. It's just when's your
Hmm.
turn for it to happen to, like you said.
Yeah. Yep. And I think you've done well. It's hard when it happens, but I think you've done well with it.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, take care, everybody. Thank you,
All right,
YTR.
bye guys.
Take
Have a
care.
great
Have a good
day.
one. Bye bye. And thank you for modding, Mary. Thank you, regulars, and people coming in. Smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll have this again. And if I won't see you on the weekend, have a good weekend. If I'll see you when Chantal has her video. And yeah, be safe. Have a good weekend. TGIF. Bye bye.